So what if the very same tools that are used to build the world's most successful companies could actually be used to build a nation? That's the really big, powerful idea at the heart of Suleiman Anwar's book, Strategic Management, From Vision to Transformation. And today, we're going to dive into this framework not as some dry business textbook, but as a potential blueprint for national renewal.
Okay, let's just start with this quote from the book's preface because it sets the stakes incredibly high. What this is really saying is that progress, whether it's for a company or a country, doesn't just happen by accident. It's designed. It's the result of choices that are deliberate, disciplined, and courageous.
So why is this conversation so important, so urgent for Pakistan specifically? Well, let's dive into what the book calls the country's unique strategic imperative. And the goal here isn't just about surviving all the ups and downs. It's about figuring out how to turn that volatility into a real advantage.
What's so interesting is this duality, right? On one side, you've got these constant, massive challenges, currency swings, energy problems, politics, you know the list. But on the other side, you have this incredible, extraordinary human potential and these unique strategic leverage points. In an environment like this, having a clear strategy isn't some nice-to-have luxury. It's absolutely essential for survival and for growth.
And that brings us right to the book's central, most powerful argument. See, these principles of strategic management, they don't just belong in a corporate boardroom. The idea is that they can be scaled up to become the very architecture of national renewal. It's about building a future by design, not leaving it to chance.
Now, to do any of that, we first have to get crystal clear on what strategy even means. I mean, think about it. It's one of the most overused and misunderstood words out there. So let's break down what it really is. It's the discipline of making choices.
This comparison here lays out the difference perfectly. On one side, you have operational effectiveness. That's just about doing the same things as everyone else, but trying to do it better, faster, or cheaper. It's a race to be the most efficient. Strategy, on the other hand, is about choosing to do different things entirely. It's about carving out a unique space. One gives you a temporary edge, the other gives you a sustainable advantage.
And this isn't some new idea, right? The book grounds this in the work of the absolute legend, Michael E. Porter. Strategy is all about creating a unique and valuable position by doing things differently. The point isn't just to be the best at what you do. It's about being the only one who does what you do. So how do you actually build that unique position? Well, according to this framework, it rests on 4 key pillars. You need a unique promise to your customer, a custom-built system to deliver it, you have to make clear trade-offs about what you won't do, and then you have to make sure all those pieces fit together perfectly.
Now, I want to double-click on this idea of trade-offs, because honestly, this is the part almost everyone gets wrong. A real strategy isn't just about what you decide to do. It's just as much about what you consciously decide not to do. It is the art of saying no so you can protect your focus.
Let's make this real. The book brings up Khadi, and it's a perfect example. They made a really clear trade-off. Instead of chasing every single fashion trend, they decided to focus only on hand-woven fabrics with a modern, local vibe. By saying no to everything else, they created this incredibly authentic identity that competitors found almost impossible to copy. That's a trade-off in action.
But a great trade-off is just one piece of the puzzle. The real magic happens when all the pieces of your strategy start reinforcing each other. That's a concept called fit. When your activities fit together, your advantage becomes so much stronger, because a rival can't just copy one thing you do. They'd have to copy your entire interconnected system, which is way, way harder.
And get this idea of fit can work on a massive scale, not just inside one company. Take the Sialkot sports goods cluster. It's a fantastic example of fit at an industry level. You have this whole ecosystem, skilled artisans, suppliers, exporters, all working together, all supporting each other. That collective fit creates a world-class hub that no single company could ever build on its own.
Okay, so having a brilliant strategy on paper is one thing, but we all know that's just a document, right? The real question is, how do you actually bring it to life and make it last? That's what this next section is all about, the system that turns a plan into action.
So here's the million-dollar question for any leader, right? How do you take a great idea and turn it into a real, sustainable advantage that can weather the storms and actually stand the test of time? Well, the answer lies in having a disciplined system. The book breaks this down into 3 really clear, logical steps. First, you formulate the strategy. You look at the world around you and you make those tough choices. Then, you implement it.
You get your entire organization, all your resources and culture pulling in the same direction. And then, crucially, you constantly evaluate. You measure, you learn, and you adjust. And here is the key thing to remember. This system makes strategy a living, breathing thing. It's not a set-it-and-forget-it plan that you write once and then stick on a shelf. It becomes this continuous cycle of learning, adapting, and regenerating. In a volatile place like Pakistan, that continuous loop is everything. You want to see this in action at a huge scale? Look at Ingro Corporation. They are constantly using this kind of disciplined system. They look at their portfolio of businesses, make the tough calls to sell off ones that are no longer the future, and then reinvest that capital into new growth areas that Pakistan desperately needs, like energy and digital. That's the cycle at work.
Okay, so let's bring this all home. Let's zoom back out and connect all these dots. We've seen how these principles build powerhouse companies, but the biggest, most ambitious idea in the book is taking this whole framework and applying it to the nation itself.
And when you think about it, the logic is actually pretty simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. If clear choices, trade-offs, and this idea of fit can build a resilient company like Kadi or Engro, then why can't those exact same principles be used to architect a resilient and prosperous nation?
So the book puts forward this concept called Vision 2047, a strategic vision for what Pakistan could become by its 100th birthday. And this isn't some fantasy wish list. It's a set of strategic pillars for a nation that is economically competitive, that develops all its people, that governs transparently, protects its environment, and acts as a hub for the world.
And I think this final quote from the book just wraps it all up perfectly. True strength in the future isn't just about size or money. It's about having deep strategic clarity, knowing exactly who you are and where you're going, and then having the moral will to actually see it through.
So, I'll leave you with a question to think about, because this isn't just a topic for CEOs or for people in government. It's for all of us. How can we, in our own work, in our communities, in our institutions, start applying this discipline of strategic thinking? How can we all play a part in designing the future? It's a powerful thought to end on.